I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Tuesday, good afternoon, and welcome. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 100.7 The Score mobile app. We are on DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, as well as television, Fox 34 News Now. Also on YouTube, your Fire Stick, your Roku, Apple TV, 950 on your AM dial. However you're taking us in, wherever you're watching or listening from, we're glad that you've decided to make us part of your Tuesday afternoon. Alongside Matt Estenson, I'm Chois Woodman. Thomas Dye across the way taking care of us. Y'all hit us up if you'd like to join the conversation. Your thoughts, comments, questions, all of it welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line via the 100.7 Score mobile app, which you can carry anywhere with you. Even listen in if you're out in Loco, Texas. What's up, Matt? It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Or a couple.
It's been a couple of months, almost a year, I believe.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think we've sat down and done this since last football season. I think it was around then. Yeah. And now we're getting ready for another football season. A lot has changed in the Texas Tech landscape since you and I last talked because, well, Tech decided to become giant spenders and up in the college football world, and now is one of the favorites to win the Big 12 going into the 2025 season. So many things are different since you and I last sat here.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Life's still moving. So
yeah,
we're good.
Are you taking a optimistic or pessimistic approach to the season? It's 18 days from now.
I feel like the last two seasons I drank the juice early. So I'm already starting that same process. I didn't learn from my last mistakes.
So many people have said that too. So many people have said that. I'm not doing it this year. And then you go and do what you did in the offseason. It's like, well, it's based in something this year.
Well, at least this year I have a reason to drink the juice early. Mm-hmm. Like the transfer portal was exceptionally good to Texas Tech this year.
Yeah.
You added a lot of pieces. And yeah, I think Tech has a solid chance this year to make it to the playoffs. You know, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, that the 8-5 would be disappointing this year, and I tend to side with them. I think 10 wins this year should be your minimum standard, right? Your standard is to win every game, of course, but from a fan perspective, I think anything under 10 wins, I would be pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the baseline I've heard from most fans out there is 10 is the minimum. I think it's either 10 or just playing in Arlington for the Big 12 championship. Like
yeah.
One of those two things is where it sits when it comes to expectations or the floor or whatever. But it's different. It's different because we've never really scoffed at anything a 9-win season around here. They've never really thought, oh, that's not good enough. But based on money spent, based on players you have on your roster, I think the expectations reflect those of the fans in that same locker room too.
Yeah, and I remember sitting here last year, and on one of the shows, that was always my issue I had with Texas Tech, specifically football, is, you know, with basketball, the expectations has always been really high. And I think with Tech, there was, at times, like you said, we were very happy with an 8-win season. It was like, oh, let's get 8 wins and it's a successful season. And
honestly,
I think sometimes the standards were set too low because of the previous years and what we grew up with Texas Tech minus a 1 season, success that we had. So I think now setting those standards where everybody, we 10 wins is going to be expected, especially when you go back to the money that was spent this year. And again, the players that you added throughout the portal, along with who you had coming back, there's really no reason. And you look at the schedule last year's schedule seemed very favorable for us. Which was funny. I got called out for calling the Colorado game last year. That was the game I felt we were going to lose at home, and everybody gave me grief. And but when you look at this year's schedule, don't worry, I was wrong plenty of times last season.
But we don't point those.
Yeah, we don't point those out. But when you look at this year's schedule, I mean, from a Tech fan base, you want to say, yeah, this is a tough schedule. But looking back, if you're just playing neutral, I mean, I think this is a very favorable schedule again going into this season.
I think it's favorable outside of the fact that you've got your 3 toughest games all on the road this year. I think that's what, at least in my opinion, your 3 toughest games. That's where it's not as favorable.
Would that be your Utah, Arizona State, Kansas State?
That would be the 3.
Yeah.
Are those the 3 toughest to you?
Yeah, last Friday, again, sounds crazy, but when we looked at the early season rankings last year, a lot of the bottom teams that were projected had pretty good seasons, right? So what scares me in this schedule is the last game of the season at West Virginia. Because let's say you run the table and that's your last game, right? Or let's say that you come off two good wins at home and then you go away on your last game. Like just the last game, I don't like being away.
I agree.
And it's West Virginia,
and Thanksgiving weekend.
On paper, you should easily handle West Virginia, but again,
supposed to.
I just get nervous. That's a game that makes me nervous.
Yep. We'll go through the schedule with Matt. We'll go over several different topics over the next hour. Talk plenty of Red Raider football. New prediction out there that has the Red Raiders at number 1. I've seen a lot of predictions. Everybody's posting theirs, getting ready for the season. Most have Texas Tech between the 3 and 5 range, but occasionally you'll find one like this one that has Tech at number 1. We'll get into stupidity from quarterbacks. Well, just one quarterback that currently sits in Norman, Oklahoma. Some legacy kids. Kurt Warner's kid is back in a starting role in college football. And Super Bowl halftime performer odds, because that seems like a Matt topic.
Oh, okay.
No?
I don't know. Was that a dig or just a friendly?
It was a friendly little, I don't know. Let's see how well I remember you. Do you watch the halftime show?
Typically, no. Okay. I'm not a...
I used to, that was the time where I would absolutely go in and peeing or getting more food or whatever for the halftime show. I feel like I've watched more lately just to judge it. That's what it is for me. So
usually I'll start and I'm like within first. If you don't win me in the first 30 seconds of the show,
you're a quick
like
judger,
45 seconds. Yeah, I mean I'm
fair
because that's the time to go socialize, right?
Right.
Grab a beverage, refill the plate for the 5th time. I mean,
5th time. Wow.
It's
ambitious.
There is no rules on Super Bowl Sunday.
No. Calories don't count on Super Bowl Sunday. That's for sure.
So
that's for sure. Okay. So we'll go through that. Got plenty of other things to dive into over the next few hours here with the bottom line as well.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Tuesday with the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman along with Matt Estenson. Thomas Dye across the way as well. Y'all keep your comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We welcome them there. We will get back to some more from you on the chat line coming up in a moment, as well as the Tech basketball projected starting 5 in August. But first, Matt had a question, something to bring up here.
Yeah, a question for you, since you are the list master of...
I wouldn't call myself a master, but I do like lists too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
So there's currently, according to ESPN, there's currently 5 teams that are plus 10,000 to win it all. Texas Tech is one of them.
Plus 10,000.
Yeah. So can you name the other 4?
That's what, 10 to 1 odds, I guess?
10 to 1 odds. And your only hint was that one is in the Big Ten, one is in ACC, and the other 2 are from the Big 12. So I need the names of those 4 schools if you can.
One is the ACC, one's the Big Ten, and the other's in the Big 12.
The other two
are in the Big 12. All right, I'm trying to look at the AP Top 25 here. That's what I've got. That's what I've got pulled up. I would go, which you already kind of hinted to me in the break, so I'll have some transparency there.
Okay.
K-State is one of them.
Yes.
Okay. ACC, I guess, just kind of looking around. SMU? No?
No.
Okay.
It's okay. And we won't spend too much time. So
No.
Tyler Shuck played there.
Oh, Louisville has the same odds as Tech?
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's about like drafting that guy.
Illinois?
No. Texas Tech now has their running back. USC.
Oh, USC. Sorry.
You're good.
My brain calling USC a Big Ten team is still not there. It's still like so weird to call USC a 10.
I almost said Pac-12, just so you know.
I would have.
You would have been like USC.
Said that. Oh, okay, USC. Okay, so USC, Louisville, and then there's one other Big 12 school.
One other Big 12 school, and it's a shock to me because the other
Iowa State,
Baylor.
Okay, I think Baylor's going to be a good football team. I don't think I would have them there before the season starts, though.
No, Utah and Arizona State have worse odds. So
Tech has the best, tied with Kansas State, best in the Big 12.
And Baylor.
Sorry.
Again, this is all, just so everybody knows, this is all according to ESPN. Yes, those are the best Big 12 odds to win the Natty, is 10-1. And out of those 5 teams, again, USC, Louisville, Baylor, Kansas State, and Tech, I think it's shocking to me that Tech isn't above all them or they're below Tech, however you want to word it.
By the way,
I think that Tech has the better team.
If you're a gambler, and you probably already know this if you are a gambler, those are terrible odds because you can get Tech way better gambling odds than 10-1. I think most that's probably the best odds I've seen.
Yeah.
ESPN has the best odds in terms of highest likelihood to Tech winning a national championship, because I think you can find Tech at 15 or 16-1,
which is what you would want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, wow.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you're better than
all 4 of those. I think you're substantially better than those 4 teams to beat. K-State, but maybe because we're biased because they kind of handle business against us. But
I don't believe in K-State this year. I've said that a number of times. I just don't think they have the quarterback play to win the Big 12 championship. A lot of people love Avery Johnson. I like Avery Johnson's legs. I don't like his arm.
Yeah,
so
I'm with you on there.
So I think he's got a ceiling, and I think we saw that ceiling last year at 8-4. I think that's about what Kansas State's going to end up once again this year. But we'll see. All right, back to the chat line. Narrative that we're the only school that spends money is a problem. Yeah, that's not an accurate narrative. The only people drinking the Kool-Aid are Chuck and his minions. The only people drinking... I think there's plenty of people drinking the Kool-Aid on this season. I don't think it's just Chuck and his minions. There's plenty of people that say, hey, I'm looking at this roster, and you've got the best roster in the Big 12, so why wouldn't I pick Texas Tech?
Well, the fans of all sports that frustrate me are the ones that were like, well, they haven't won anything yet. So are you... to me, that's insinuating that until your team wins a national championship, you can't ever have any expectations.
Yeah.
And that is simply untrue, right?
No, you can look at things in a vacuum. You can look at this season alone, because why does last season have anything to do with the 20-plus guys that you brought in on your roster in the offseason this year?
That's right.
That are really highly rated. This one from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. West Virginia will be the surprise team of the year, in my opinion. Rich Rodden is an old-school, hard-nosed coach. Does that work nowadays, old-school, hard-nosed? I honestly don't know. Like, we're seeing that kind of go the way of the dinosaur. And there's a reason that Nick Saban quit. There's a reason that plenty of these guys have gone away, because they don't want to deal with the way college football is nowadays. So I'm not saying Rich Rod won't have success. I'm saying I don't know if that style of coaching is one that works as well nowadays.
I'm on topic but off somewhat topic. I'm curious to see if Bill Belichick's ways work.
Especially,
you talk about old school, like
especially
nobody's changing
football.
his mentality and his approach to.
No, it's one of the weirdest transitions ever. But you know what? He's got a youthful girlfriend that maybe has provided some exuberance for him. I don't know. That's one of the weirdest things.
Is she enrolled?
I think she's a little older than that. Was she 22?
She's 22. I mean,
she could be enrolled.
Wait, she's 22?
Oh yeah.
It's just a number.
That's 1 year older than me. What?
Where have you been, Thomas?
You're lost, Thomas.
I thought she was like 30 something.
Oh, I'm looking right now. This is a very...
No, I'm 100% she's not enrolled. I don't think the school would allow that. But she is much different in age compared to him.
48 years difference. She's 24.
48 years difference.
48 years between. What was the rule? Like half year? No, I can't remember. There used to be a rule.
Don't say a rule that you're not sure.
No, I don't want to. There used to be a rule for older guys or anybody older dating where it's like, okay, this is what's socially acceptable. And someone help me on the chat line because I know one of you people will know it.
Is that socially?
I think 48 years is probably not.
If that was your uncle, would you say he's a creepy uncle?
Yes, 100%. Dear Choice, how are you? I am fine. Are they having the same 10-win season talk over on Cyclone 97.3 or 100.7 The Mountaineer? Right now, everyone is still undrafted. I think it was supposed to be undefeated. Are our bunkmates realistic or sunshine pumpers? Thank you for the regional Big 12 radio affiliate talk you give us. Gordo, P.S. Please tell the fake Chris Snead I enjoy his noon radio work with you. Apparently you're the fake Chris Snead today, so.
Okay.
You don't look like him at all.
No, just something about me.
Something. I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. I would guess that not the Mountaineer, 100.7 The Mountaineer. I don't think they're having the same potential Big 12 championship talk over there. But in Iowa State and Ames, why wouldn't they be talking about it? I don't think they're going to win it, but they're a top 25 team, one spot ahead of Texas Tech in the preseason poll going into the season. So I think you've got legitimately, 7 fan bases that think they can win the Big 12 right now? I mean, that legitimately 7 out there that are saying, hey, we've got as much of a shot as anybody. And I think Texas Tech is obviously one of those, but it's K-State, Tech, Utah, Baylor, Iowa State, and who am I missing? That's what I get for trying to do this off the noggin.
TCU?
BYU, I think, is the other one. I'm just going off the rankings. TCU, yeah, I mean, there's fans that can absolutely say, hey, we could do this.
I think there's always, to the text in or chat line individual, probably most schools are having that conversation because it's the same in the SEC, right? How many SEC schools are having that conversation now? The flip of that is Vanderbilt, 97.3, having that conversation? Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. Old Razzle Dazzle says, clip that part. I like Avery Johnson's legs. We can go without that. We're good. It is the bottom line. More next on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
On we go to hour number 2. This is the bottom line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. 100.7 The Score is viewable on television as well. Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, your Apple TV, however you like to take us in. We are glad that you've decided to do so on this Tuesday afternoon. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, now in the First United Bank studio. Thomas Dye back behind the glass taking care of us. Y'all keep hitting us up. Had some great commentary so far on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We welcome more there through that 100.7 The Score mobile app, which you can carry anywhere with you. Even listen in if you're out in 100 West Virginia.
100?
No, just 100. Not 100.
Just 100.
Just 100.
100.
Jamie, let's start with a top 25 poll.
Okay.
We started yesterday kind of that way. AP Top 25. Per Brett McMurphy, we have the AP poll voters' most overrated preseason college football teams since 2014. So this is where they are in the preseason poll based off of where they're at to where they finish. So the most overrated teams, the ones the AP poll gets wrong,
Okay.
overrating them the most.
Since
2014. So the last
2014.
11 years.
Okay.
Or I guess it'd be 10 years or so. I don't know. Any guesses at who is wrong the most?
Florida State last year.
Well, no, this is in general, a collective. So Florida State is on the list. They are the 6th most overrated team.
Texas.
21st. I would have thought they would be more. But there were some years where Texas was just barely in the top 25.
Texas A&M.
Number 3 on the list.
Okay.
Get rated high a lot. So these are the teams that get rated high a lot and underdeliver.
So there has to be a bit of a compliment to it in that year. It's a team that is thought highly of. So if
Is that a compliment?
If that's the case, you probably have finished pretty high some other seasons too, though. Maybe.
I guess, or you just recruit really well,
Okay.
rack up some recruits, and then don't actually perform well with those recruits. Which I think is how a lot of these teams would go.
Ohio State.
Ohio State is 25th. You haven't
Michigan.
been wrong on any yet. Michigan's 10th. They get a lot of love.
Sorry.
You are correct.
Oh, they're number 1?
No.
Oh,
9. They're in the top 10, though. 9 for Miami.
What about
You're missing 4 out of the top 5. You haven't said that. Yeah, A&M was 3.
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. There's your first strike. You did not on the list.
Tennessee.
Also not on the list. You've got a Big Ten team, an SEC team, SEC, Big Ten as 1, 2, 4, and 5. And which is how these biases are going to go a lot of times.
Oregon?
Big Ten and SEC. Oregon's 7. Oregon gets a lot of preseason love.
The Gators?
Florida's not on there.
All right.
Okay, Southern Cal, USC is number 1. The most overrated team based off of preseason.
Totally fair.
Number 2, Auburn. There's been plenty of years where Auburn was elevated really high and then either didn't make a bowl game or just was 6-6. A&M, as we mentioned, 3. LSU is 4. I was a little surprised at that, but there were some bad years in there.
Yep, there have been.
And Wisconsin is number 5.
Wisconsin.
Under-deliver. Florida State, Oregon, OU was 8. I mean, I think they were a preseason top 25 team last year and finished 6-7. Miami's 9, Michigan 10, Stanford was 11. I'm shocked to see them on here, but I guess the earlier part of this particular list, I guess so. North Carolina,
Doesn't
12.
It feel like Stanford's athletic department has just become the NIL era has just wiped them clean.
Is it the NIL era, or is it just their own arrogance of not being willing to make any movements towards the middle of the country? I think theirs started more with conference realignment than NIL.
And maybe there's some truth to that, but I just think the fact that they're not willing to dish out a lot of money for NIL has killed their chances to compete in the major sports.
That's probably it in the last few years, but I think they were heading downhill before that.
Or even in softball.
Yeah. Or even in softball.
Yeah.
North Carolina was 12, UCLA 13. These are the most overrated teams according to preseason, AP poll versus postseason. Georgia 14, Bama 15, Clemson, Arkansas, Utah. Last year hurt them on that.
Sure.
Notre Dame, Nebraska. There's 16 through 20. Texas, South Carolina, Iowa State, Kansas State, and Ohio State.
Totally could believe Iowa State because it feels like they've had some years where we expected them to be good, and they were pretty mediocre.
Feels like most of the time when Iowa State has expectations, which I think this year might fit the bill on that, where they're a top 25 team and end up 7-5 again, because I don't know if they have receivers to throw to. So just thought that was interesting. That was per Brett McMurphy, the most overrated teams in college football in the last decade or so. Hopefully this guy, Pete Mundo at Heartland College Sports, hopefully he's not overrating anybody or
Mundo.
one particular team.
Well, okay.
Because Heartland College Sports is one of the very few projections, Jamie, that I have seen, and has Texas Tech #1 in the Big 12 going into the season.
Okay.
So he's
buying in.
So he claims this as the predicting of the finish for all 16 teams in the Big 12. And he had to scroll all the way down to find Texas Tech at #1 and Utah at #2. He expects that to be the Big 12 championship. Mundo, in this musing, says, I'm buying the Texas Tech Red Raiders after bringing in the #1 transfer portal class in the country. They just have more talent at every level than any other Big 12 team. And I also believe it's critical that they return Baron Morton at quarterback, who can help the new offensive pieces gel faster than they otherwise might. The offensive and defensive lines are absolutely stacked at a high-end SEC level, and this will be an ultimate difference for the Red Raiders, who will win the Big 12 for the first time in program history and punch a ticket to the college football playoff.
Let's go.
I always thought this Pete Mundo guy was really smart.
Just the thought of having an SEC-type defensive line. How much fun does that sound?
I'm ready to see lots of havoc in the backfield. It's, we've had individual guys that have been really good at Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your Pete Robertsons, your Brandon Williams, you've had guys. McKinnon Dixon, your Tyree Wilson. You've had some individual guys that could get in the backfield, but you haven't had a
Brandon
Sharp, yes. You haven't had a unit like this, and that's what I'm probably. If there's one thing I'm most excited to watch this season, it's that. It is the bottom line. Continue next on 100.7 The Score. It's a Tuesday with the bottom line on 100.7 The Score and 107 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent here in the First United Bank studio. You'll keep your comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get back to a few of those right now. Someone says, I'm still not buying Utah at all. I think they finished middle of the pack at best, but that could be partly because their fans on Twitter are insufferable, all caps. It says, and yes, all caps is warranted. Okay. I don't know what to think of Utah. I can go back and forth on them because I think they do have talent. I think they're good in the trenches, which I think matters, obviously. And they lost a lot of close games last year. So if those close games flip around, then I think they've got a shot to be good this year. But at the same time, one single player, should not take you from a potential Big 12 champion to a 5-7 team, which is what happened last year.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of with the texter. I'm just not buying yet. I will, they have the right to prove me wrong.
Yep.
Part of the reason that I'm not completely buying them is I don't think a quarterback who had 12 touchdowns and 12 picks at New Mexico is going to change the stars, change the fortune of a team in the Big 12 conference that went 2-7 in conference play a year ago.
Not arguing with any of that.
I don't think that change gets you to conference contender. It might get you to... maybe you're a little bit better than what you had the quarterback position last year. Okay, more than a little bit better, but because it was pretty awful.
I think what Utah is, they're around what K-State is. I think they're both limited teams at the quarterback position when it comes to throwing the football. And when they face better teams, you can beat lesser teams as a one-dimensional offense. I think you can do that, where you can run the football down their throats, and I think both K-State and Utah will be able to do that to a lot of teams. But once you face a defense like Texas Tech is supposed to be, or a defense like I think Arizona State's still going to have a good defense this year. When you face those teams, I think that's where it'll get exposed, and Devin Dampier can go lose football games for you with his arm. So
who would you take if you had to take one of those quarterbacks, Devin Dampier or Avery Johnson?
Because I've seen the good of Avery Johnson, I would take Avery Johnson.
Me too. He's played it in a tougher conference.
Yeah, and he still can whip you with his legs, and he still has ability. I think he's got a ceiling, but there's not a question there to me. I do not get the Devin Dampier love. If you want to sit there and say Devin Dampier could finish as one of the better quarterbacks in this league, fine. But to sit here and say that he's the third best guy in the league right now, that's stupid, and you look like you don't know ball.
I guess it's just like I don't get bent out of shape when I feel like people are discounting Baron Morton a little bit, which I think they are. Even though he was one of the top passers in the league last year, but people still, for whatever reason, I mean, and some legit reasons, discount him a little bit. Yet Avery Johnson, who was so incredibly inconsistent, and Devin Dampier, who has not played at this level at all,
Amen,
are getting the benefit of the doubt when Baron Morton is not.
Doesn't make sense. Does not make any sense to me, but I think there's, and this is not a shot at anybody, but I think when you come to national media or even regional media at times, there's a laziness where you copy other people's work. And heck, I do it. Sometimes I'm reading off of other people a lot to try to figure out.
Or you just value other people's opinions.
Yeah. I figure out, I gauge other people's opinions to figure out where my opinion's going to end up at. But I think there's a lot of people that you hop on a bandwagon. And it's a popular thing to do. The Avery Johnson thing. Let's hop on.
Went by his first performance ever.
The very first one, sure.
It was pretty good.
But like I said earlier, and I've said before, Kansas State does not get the flack they deserve. And it's possibly just because they're K-State, and we just all give K-State a pass because they're a good program. But they do not get the criticism deserved for running Will Howard out of the building, who went and won a national championship.
Yeah.
And it's a thing to do. You move on to the next guy. But you better be right on that next guy if you're going to move on, especially if you've got a good one sitting there. Because I think Texas Tech did something similar where you said, hey, Tyler Shuck, we've got our next guy. We're ready to move on, and we've got Baron Morton here. I think both teams would say they won that trade, so to speak. Louisville says, hey, we got a guy that gave us one of our better seasons of recent memory, and Texas Tech says, hey, I think Baron Morton gave you everything and maybe more that Tyler Shuck would have last year.
I think the difference is Will Howard wasn't terrible his last year at Kansas State.
No, he was good.
Yeah, they just thought they saw the potential of Avery Johnson. Tyler Shuck was horrible.
Will Howard
his last year here, really the whole time he was here.
Will Howard led them to a Big 12 championship. We got the game actually on in front of us, and they beat TCU that game. And it's just, I don't know. You better be right when you're making those calls. That's all. I was rewatching this from the chat line, the second half of the 2006 Insight Bowl, and the two guys that stood out on that defense was Joe Garcia and one of my favorite Red Raiders, Keontae Dawson. Remember Keontae? Yeah. Mm-hmm. His motor was nonstop, and I hope one of those defensive linemen can dominate just like he did while he was here. That's from Mr. B. I think your comp to Keontae Dawson is Romello Height, and we'll see. He's one of those guys that the coaches talk about his motor and talk about how he can go, and that's what gets me excited when we're talking about the defensive line. Like, who the heck are you going to double team? Who are you going to do it to? Because it sure feels like you're setting guys up for some trouble if you double team anybody. If you're leaving people on an island, good luck, because you've got guys all over that defensive line that cause pressure. And you should be able to trust your secondary this year if you bring any sort of extra pressure. But you don't That's the great thing is it felt like the only way you could get to the quarterback last year is bringing extra pressure.
Mm-hmm.
More often than not, that's how it happened.
Yeah, which just left your secondary exposed.
And it happened way too much where you're giving up big plays. So
can I ask you a question?
I think that's allowed, yeah.
It's not time for Jamie's question of the day, but
this isn't official.
Question. You mentioned that we were currently watching the Big 12 championship game from 2 years ago. Why is the Big 12 logo camouflaged?
I wish I could answer that. I remember talking about it at the time.
Clearly, you can see I didn't watch the game.
Are you sure it's camouflage? Is it actually there?
No, that one is not. But watch when he backs up to pass.
Is it actually there? No, I can't remember. I remember talking about it 2 years ago, and there was a reason, but I cannot remember. Why don't you ask Grok or Chat GPT? They'll tell you.
Grok?
Yeah, Grok. That's the
tight end
Twitter.
for the Patriots? I think it's Gronk.
That's Gronk.
Yeah.
Former tight end for the Patriots, but no, Grok is the Twitter thing.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that.
Really? You don't utilize that a lot? You know who would have some fun with that?
Google. I'll use Google.
Chuck needs to use AI.
Am I old because I only use Google?
Yes, but I also am. I legitimately, and this is for a story on the website, not even a story, a fun thing on the website, I am using AI for the first time ever today. Rob had to teach me how. It's basically you just type a question into it and it'll do things for you, and it's kind of just a fun little thing. But I have never used it before, and it's not too difficult. I feel like if Chuck Hines got into AI, he would never stop.
Oh, boy.
He'd probably tell everybody about it all the time, too. Hey, this is what I got out of the AI today. Someone says, I wonder how much it plays into performance with someone like Barron always wanting to play for Tech, and if that pushes him a bit more this year.
Hope so.
I hope so, too. Yeah. I think there's extra motivation that you can't measure. And, I mean, what a fun story that would be for Barron Morton. Kid that grew up in Lubbock, grew up as a Red Raider fan, getting to lead them to their first ever Big 12 title. Be pretty fun. And a guy that would have been here all 4 years, too.
5
years, yeah.
Imagine that.
What is that? Someone says, please don't let Chuck use AI. We got a question of the day coming up next. Jamie delivers that on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thrilled to be part of your Tuesday. Got about 90 minutes to go with you here on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. It's the Bottom Line. Choice Jamie Thomas edition this afternoon. 18 days out from Texas Tech football season. We'll return to some more of your Red Raider football thoughts, as well as a few different things I found intriguing, including a way to save money on Thomas's future wedding. You're getting married, right? Someday?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thomas looks like a justice of the peace kind of guy.
That's definitely one way to save money. We'll get to that coming up. But right now, Jamie has our question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
Okay, in honor of us talking about Utah and their fans earlier today, my question for you gentlemen today is I want you to tell me who your least favorite team is in the Big 12 for each of the three major sports: football, basketball, and baseball.
I always love these.
Okay.
Sports hate is fun.
Because it changes for me depending on the sport.
It does. It depends on the sport. It depends. It can change per year depending on the coach.
Yep, absolutely.
Who your starting quarterback or player is. Yeah. Okay, so as we sit going into the 2025 football season, Am I allowed to pull up like the whole Big 12 list? Because I always forget someone. I think my football team last year, I think it was Colorado. It was Colorado. I don't think they're going to be near as prominent this year. There's still going to be some in-your-face stuff about them. But for football this year, it's Utah. It's Utah. I think it's annoying that they are getting as much preseason love as they are still. I think it's they were extremely annoying last year going into the year. I think their fans are as annoying as it gets. So football, it's Utah. For the sport of basketball, this may be surprising to some. It's Arizona.
Really?
They have fans in basketball only that believe that they are God's gift to basketball. Much like Kansas, but Kansas actually has a lot more skins on the wall with it, and more recent ones.
Yeah, Arizona has a lot too, though.
They do, but it's been a while. Mm-hmm. I mean, Tech has been as relevant as Arizona in the last decade in basketball. So
I would say even more.
Probably more so.
Yeah, but they used to be really good.
They've got one title?
I don't know.
I think 90s. Anyway, so Arizona's 2. Arizona's basketball.
Sean Elliott and Steve Kerr.
And then baseball on this one is flip-flopped. I think 3 different teams have kind of rotated around for me in baseball between TCU, OSU, and West Virginia. West Virginia was just like one season, but they had some guys and their digital camo uniforms factored into that too. But I think it still sits at OSU, and it's just almost all head coach based. It rubs me the wrong way so much. But so Utah, Arizona, and OSU.
Okay.
I would say for me in football, it is Colorado still.
Okay.
I really don't like their fans on like Twitter or anything.
Yeah, they got
all of a sudden everyone's skull buff now. So
skull buff.
They literally came out of nowhere. But yeah, also just don't like the coach.
Fair.
As loud as he is. Same reason in basketball for TCU. I do not like their head coach. Or their court. Also,
or their court.
Isn't TCU the one on the bench where they like tried to trip someone on our team?
I don't think they tried. It's just Jamie Dix, or did someone stick a foot out?
Someone purposely stuck their foot out, but I don't remember.
It seems okay.
Anyway,
seems like that rings a bell, but
yeah. And then for baseball, I'm just gonna say Oklahoma State for no particular reason. I don't watch.
Josh Holliday's the reason.
Okay, the easiest one for me is baseball, and that's Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that'd be the
everything
answer.
about all of them. Okay. All of it. That's the easy one for me. Football for me, I definitely was Colorado last year, but I think it's Utah this year. And I don't think that's going to change. I feel like they're being given way too much credit and way too much benefit of the doubt after a terrible season a year ago. So, and they also felt like they were going to come in and kind of run the league, and I don't want them to do that. So I'm going to continue to root against them. Basketball's hard for me. I think in years past, this would have been a no-brainer, Kansas.
Yep.
And I think it's kind of sad that it doesn't feel like that anymore. Like they're not as good, so
because everybody else is paying players now.
I just don't dislike them as much, but I think I'm going to still stick with them.
Okay.
But it used to be like head and shoulders above everybody else, and now I just don't really. I would have said the same thing about Baylor in years past, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
They've not been as good. I don't know. I just can't find one in basketball that I dislike them all, but that one that really gets to me.
It's funny because
I thought the atmosphere for the Arizona Tech game last year, both places was fantastic. So I thought that was a fun rivalry.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. But I think part of it is when you venture out towards message boards or social media, Jamie, and I know you don't end up in those spots very often. I would say I don't very often, but when you see people looking down at you, that's probably my biggest annoyance of anything. When people look down their nose at you and say, we are greater than thou.
Utah definitely did that before.
Utah does it, and that's where my Arizona basketball hate comes from. I think there is definitely some greater than thou feelings from them towards, they're little old Lubbock. Why do we care about them? But they obviously did care about you when you came there. You were a highly ranked team. It's interesting that all three of those are my answer: Utah, Arizona, and Oklahoma State. Yet if you ask me a universal one, it'd be TCU, without question. Because I think TCU would probably be second or third in football. TCU would be top 3 in basketball and second in baseball. So, like, universally, TCU would be it for me.
Universally, OSU for me.
Where's TCU on that?
Second. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, not much question that's where it'd be. But rekindle the sports hate.
Yeah, I've always disliked those two more than I've disliked the Aggies and Longhorns.
Yeah, Baylor's a weird one to me. The only reason I really hate them is because people call me Waco Woodman. But it's like I've never, I guess because there was such a long period of time where they were bad. I don't know. There's been times where I really disliked Baylor, and it had to do with more of the rape stuff and.
Yeah, I mean, what they were doing there was just despicable.
I loathed Baylor in football, but that's all as far as administration and staff and all that. That's all gone now, and so I don't really have that same feeling towards them in football. I think Dave Aranda is one of the biggest weirdos there is, and
he's flawed.
He's odd. Yeah, odd is probably a better word for it. Basketball
seems like the two football coaching staffs don't really think highly of each other.
No, don't think so. And then Baylor basketball, I used to really dislike Scott Drew, but I've changed my tune on him because I just think.
I think I would have. I don't know. I would have said Houston basketball, maybe even last year.
Yeah.
Okay, for a stretch, but Kelvin Sampson actually says some things that
I agree.
Make sense.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that I've changed how I think about him. Not completely. It's not. Don't have a love fest for Sampson, but.
Well, that's good.
But from what I used to think of him to what I think of him now, it's changed a lot. Yeah, Houston wasn't even really that big of a consideration for me, which is weird. All right, we got a dad joke and more from you on the chat line coming up on 100.7 The Score. I like frogs.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Tuesday. Got about a half hour left with you on the Bottom Line on 100.7 Score and 107 Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, Thomas Dye with you. All right, fellas. Tell me I'm wrong. Brett Yormark's biggest mistake as the Big 12 commissioner is not something he's done, but rather something he has not done, or he did not do. Tell me I'm wrong. I can go further into depth if you want.
I'm probably going to disagree just because I think his biggest mistake was sending the Big 12 Media Days to Las Vegas summer before last.
So it's something he has done.
Made me go to Vegas.
That's Jamie's answer so far. You put that over Big 12 Mexico? That really fizzled out. I guess they're still trying it, but it's gone quiet. Because I think there's a baseball game that's supposed to be there this next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mexico City?
I don't know. What are you saying that he didn't do?
His biggest swing and a miss was, I guess, watching it go by and not actually swinging. And that is not and to his credit, he's been very out in front most of the time, been very good at being proactive and kind of setting the tone in a lot of things. But all I hear about right now from people is, hey, have you watched this Any Given Saturday, this new Netflix thing about the SEC? Why did the Big 12 not have this first?
Okay.
And I think this is a huge thing. The SEC is, they are elite at media publicity and propaganda. And you had an opportunity to be the first to a Netflix documentary, and the SEC got there first. Or it's not a documentary. It's more like a Hard Knocks style show.
How do you know you had the first chance at it?
Because no one had done it yet.
Surely Netflix went to the SEC first.
Possibly. But I'm saying Brett Yormark is usually out in front on those things. And I think there was something there that could have been done, and the Big 12 could have been first. I'm not saying that there wasn't an attempt or anything like that. I'm just saying...
I think your point is probably fair. It's... I would guess that the people that are watching that are already in belief of the propaganda. So it's not like you're changing people's minds because of those shows.
It's not necessarily that. I'm saying you could have built your own propaganda. You could have built your own bias towards your league. If people loved this product like they are loving the SEC one, and I know that it wouldn't have been the exact same, but you got college football fans that are thirsty for college football right now. It's a great release time leading up to a season.
Yeah, and there's also nothing to say that you can't do it next year.
No, there's not, but it's...
Wouldn't be the first time somebody's copied somebody.
No. But it would be a secondary thing to the SEC. I just think it is a huge miss by the league to not have done this first.
That would have been
cool. You have to be out in front as a league right now.
What's the premise of the show?
I think they're going through each team, I believe, and this is something I have not watched, but it's something I've heard a ton about and see talked about a whole lot, which is the type of thing the Big 12 needs. And I believe they're going through a feature on each team, basically. And it's just like Hard Knocks for one episode per team type of thing. I think. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on it. So, I think that's the biggest miss so far in Brett Yormark's career. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think that he might be setting one up for basketball because ICC is obviously known for football, like being a football conference. Big 12 is kind of getting known as a basketball conference, and so I think if he's going to take a chance at this even becoming a thing, I think focusing on basketball would be a better sport to focus on than football in this aspect.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if we get in a couple of months a basketball one out with the Big 12 because you are the best basketball league consistently.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be shocking.
Nope.
And I would like that. I think it'd be fun. But
I think a lot of Big 12 fans would like that for basketball.
All right. Lots of people with some opinions on that. So you think I'm wrong in general?
Yes, in general, I think you are wrong.
That there's something that's been... Dang it. I said that. Like, that was as set on a T as possible. No, for this statement.
Can I just be in the middle on this one?
So your digitometer is at 50%,
right now? Yeah, whatever.
I guess you can ride the fence. Kind of kills the point of tell me I'm wrong, but...
I can't come up with anything that I think that he's done terribly.
Well,
it's worse than that. I also don't think it's a big game changer that we didn't come up with it. I don't think SEC fans are watching this show and thinking to themselves, you know what? The Big 12 is better than I thought.
No. If they watch the Big 12, I think...
Or national fans that are indifferent between the Big 12 and the SEC.
Here's where I think the miss is. It's not that it changes necessarily the mind. It says, oh, man, I really like that Kenny Dillingham guy when I watch this show. I'm going to turn on an Arizona State game. Or Joey McGuire was infectious. Or they've got a quarterback that's really fun to watch. Mm-hmm. I'm going to turn on a Texas Tech game.
Yeah, possibly.
I think that's where you missed right here. Is maybe. that it may have not been a huge number of eyeballs, but it may have brought 50,000 more eyeballs a game to your games, and that's something. Mm-hmm. So that's where I think the miss is. I have not changed my mind on it. Tell me I'm wrong that I've given in a while, but I think there is a better answer on the chat line, so I'm going to say I'm wrong. Football scheduling not having pods. 3 rivalry games every year is his worst decision. You know what? I agree with you. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I think the way they set up this whole, I get the whole wanting to play everybody thing, but you had an opportunity at pods in your scheduling and being able to play other pods and really make it more NFL style. Yeah, that's where I think the worst decision has been with the Big 12. So you're right. I'm wrong. I'll go with second on mine. Biggest mistake for your mark was giving UT bulletin board material in their last season about Tech beating them.
Man.
That wasn't fun. I mean, actually, it was fun in the moment, seeing your commissioner do that. But then when you got there, it wasn't as fun. Very wide open. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, it was at first. You're wrong. His biggest mistake, aside from adding Houston and Cincy, he made the mistake of publicly saying he wanted Texas to beat us. No, Tech to beat Texas for that 50-point beating. Thanks for that 50-point beating, Brett. There we go. Choice, he invited Houston to the Big 12 +4. So there's a lot of people that think there's plenty of mistakes made.
The Houston one seems like one that a lot of people weren't fans of.
Yeah. I mean, but if you were going to add 4, who else would it have been? That's the question. Because Houston's a better pick than Memphis. Houston's a better pick than Tulane. Houston's a better pick than basically anything that was out there. I guess maybe Boise State would have been the option.
Was SMU on the board at the time?
They were.
Yeah, I would have much rather have SMU than Houston.
If SMU would have given the offer to the Big 12 that they did the ACC, it probably would have been a better play for the Big 12.
Yeah, maybe.
But that wasn't on the table at the time. Mm-hmm. Someone says, I didn't like pods or divisions. Did the Big 12 North-South thing originally, and the South was far superior. You do pods that stay consistent every year, you create a risk of a pod being 3 of the best teams and ultimately could knock out 2 of the 3 year after year. No thanks. There's truth to that. But I also don't like the not playing your rival thing. So maybe pods wasn't the answer, but there shouldn't ever be a year like this year where you don't play Baylor or TCU.
Yep.
Should never be that year. So figure it out on the schedules there, but that's the biggest mistake. And then mine was second. Maybe. It is the bottom line. We've got the most interesting fact of the day for you next on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.